Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
After President Trump helped secure the release of 3 UCLA basketball players from house arrest in China for shoplifting, controversy is still swirling. When the players were freed, thanks to Trump speaking to President Xi, the young men were sent back to America. Cody Riley, Jalen and LiAngelo Ball, the younger brother of Los Angeles Lakers rookie Lonzo Ball, all thanked Trump for intervening on their behalf, but not everyone appreciates what the president did. LaVar Ball, the father of LiAngelo Ball, is not accepting of President Trump's help in the situation one bit and has made a point to bash him every chance he gets. In an interview with CNN's Cuomo on Monday night, Ball went on a disgusting rant diminishing Trump's help, and that is not all he said. This ungrateful man actually dared to say that Trump didn't do all that much to help release his son from communist China, and if he had offered a ride to the boys on Air Force One, then he would thank the president. Here is more from Bart. In an extraordinary interview Monday with CNN's Cuomo on CNN Tonight, LaVar Ball, father of UCLA basketball's LiAngelo Ball, explained that President Donald Trump would have gotten a thank you from him had he flown his son and the other 2 detained players home from China. The players were being held in China for shoplifting while in the country for a basketball game. Saturday, LaVar Ball refused to acknowledge Trump's role in getting the 3 players home, to which Trump responded by saying he should have left the basketball players in jail. Cuomo pressed Ball to thank Trump, but Ball said he would only thank the president had he let the trio come home with him on his plane. "I would have said thank you if he put him on his plane and took him home," the elder Ball told Cuomo. "Then I would have said thank you, Mr. Trump, for taking my boys out of China and bringing them back to the U.S. There's a lot of room on that plane. I would have said thank you kindly for that." Now, that is not the worst of what Ball had to say in this interview. In fact, those are just the highlights. Ball went on to downplay the actions of his son, essentially saying that shoplifting in China was not that big of a deal. "I'm from LA. I've seen a lot worse things happen than a guy taking some glasses. My son has built up enough character that one bad decision doesn't define him. Now if you can go back and say when he was 12 years old he was shoplifting and stealing cars and going wild, then that's a different thing," he added. "Everybody gets stuck on the negativity of some things, and they get stuck on them too long. That's not me. I handle what's going on, and then we go from there." Are kidding me, sir? Shoplifting in China is a huge deal, and these boys could have faced 5-10 years in prison if convicted. Oh, but that is not all this entitled father had to say about the entire ordeal. So, LaVar Ball is saying that since President Trump did not invite the players onto Air Force One, essentially rewarding them for bad behavior, he doesn't need to thank him. It is evident that LaVar Ball is missing the point, and what makes it even more ironic is that liberal bootlicker, Whoopi Goldberg, gets it. Last week, Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts on ABC's The View expressed their astonishment over the fact that these players were arrested in the first place. Then Goldberg went on to say that the players embarrassed the country, President Trump, and most of all themselves, and accredited Trump for their safe release back home. "You embarrassed your families, you embarrassed the country, and you embarrassed the president," Goldberg said. "Now I'm not a big fan of the president, but the fact that he had to call and get your asses out of there is not anything to be proud of or think is cool. If this isn't the stupidest thing a young person has done, particularly if you're over 6 feet tall, and black," she continued. "You kinda stick out," Sonny Hostin interjected. "Is this just the ridiculous stupidity of youth?" Goldberg asked, recounting how they were detained for stealing items from a Louis Vuitton store in a foreign country without many black people. "Now, you're in China, you're this big," she said, reaching high into the air to indicate the player's height. "It's not like you're gonna blend, you're not going to blend in, run out." Goldberg said their families and mentors had no doubt told them numerous times not to do things like this, and she said the foolishness of youth is the only explanation for something so dumb. Now, it is not often that anyone on the conservative side agrees with any of these ladies on The View, but even a broken clock gets it right twice a day, and these women got it right this time. Maybe LaVar Ball should take a few notes from these women and say thank you to President Trump for his help, or at the very least he can keep his mouth shut. HT, Free Beacon.